Beloved star, welcome. Welcome to Immortal Starpod, episode 54. And this one will be a wee one, a wee bit shorter than the last one for the new year. I wanted to share and introduce this energy that is landing so beautifully for the first wave of this year, and it is the sense of our celestial starlight, our angelic DNA, really becoming available to each one of us as never before. And this sequencing of starlight codes, of the configuration of pure I am presence that each one of us bears, holds, carries, is, lights up, reveals and shows in this world, has been inflowing for some time, and for many of us feeling it's danced through our being, and through this the shift of so much as the true vibrational codes of who you are, your true resonance, your true wisdom, your true qualities, your true way of love flows through you, informs, and the shell of who you've been here before dissolves away in the presencing of those starlight codes of who you are inflowing. And for so many of us, we've been in this process for some time with our ascension and with our return, and it's so beautiful, and often I see this like a cocoon of light inflowing around through us and informing, altering our very core. And our energy centers are really, really changing with this. And I've been shown for some years how the trajectory of our ascension in terms of our light body, many people speak of chakras, us having or not having chakras. Many speak of them melting away in the process of our ascension. These energy bodies that have been spoken of traditionally and that we may have awoken and worked with in this lifetime. And you've got the traditional 7 within the physical body, the energy centers, and their respective colours going from the root to the crown. And then for many ascension pathways and lineage pathways, there has been the awareness inflowing of different sequencings of the lights that we are, and of an ascended galactic light body coming in, of an expanded body of light that holds the light of our soul star, that holds the light of our deeper interconnection to the realms, that holds the light of our deeper connection to the earth, quite literally energy centers that go beyond that root, that go beyond our feet and the soles of our feet, and that are actually far within the earth, part of our own ascended body of light that is deeply, deeply interconnected to the earth. That we exist also as earth, as we ascend, as we remember, and as we come into this original lighted form and design of the divine human angelic DNA. And this is the remembrance of ourselves as shining ones, often in the great ages of peace, of starlight that have been on earth before, when these expanded band waves have been available and functioning, that it's remembered we were 7 feet tall and beyond, because quite literally so too there are points of light above our crown. So as they go far within the earth, so too that we have these expanded bodies of light that go above the crown of our head into the realm of the soul star above, and connecting us to our own star bodies, star self, star intelligence, lights that light up beyond our crown and are part of our own greater energetic design here. And there have been many shared, of any number, as we are expanding in our remembrance of all that is possible within that quantum and infinite field for the human lighted design and experience here. And what I've been shown through these years, I've been given one of those systems, if you like, a remembrance of the Elven, of the patterning of our lighted form here, that is composed of, well, 13 points of light as it runs from the very core of the earth and to above our heads, but that also interconnects us through the galactic plane, through to source light beyond. And so a vastly expanded body of light. But as the Elven have shared this, these stargates open within our energy fields, these energy centers of this vastly expanded bandwave, to facilitate the next step, which is the receiving from that source light, the receiving from the home worlds where we inflow from, of our own true celestial and angelic starlight DNA, of who we truly are, and that actually there is no such thing as that generic form and pattern of light in that next stage, but rather each one of us truly receiving our own lighted design, the truth of our own body of light, ever infinitely evolving, patterned with the sigils of our home world, of who we are, of where we come from, our unique transit through galaxies, star dimensions, elemental existences on Earth and other planetary bodies, that we have our own sigils of light, our own energy centers that light up in a very, very unique and beautiful way. Yes, shared by that resonance of that source, that white starlight, that diamond crystalline light of source, and yet the infinite potentiality of that expression in our bodies of light. And that there would come a time when we were really able to step across and begin feeling into that unutterably beautiful and unique configuration within your body of light, being gifted through your angelic and your star DNA. And what I've been shown is with 2024, we are at that time. Many of us will find ourselves releasing any other systems or structures or ways of perceiving our light bodies and ourselves, and find ourselves going into a much deepened experience, as has been expressed, of innermost essence and of the unique lighted design that is flowing, incoming through your core source presence. And I'm really, really beginning to experience this myself. It's so beautiful. And I've as though been witnessing that as an observer of its potentiality from outside of it for a while, as a possibility that I longed for and knew was on its way, was felt it could be any second, any moment. And yet now it feels that bandwave of potentiality is fully activated as an experience. And with that, in the Elven Aurora, just to spiral to this in the beautiful Elven Ascension shamanic journeys that we make each moon. And this is the Snowdrop Moon, and the snowdrop being this flower that rises through the earth, the soils of earth in the deeps of winter, and is this tiny white flower. And I love its essence, its energy, because it does rise above the surface of the earth. It appears, it blossoms, flowers as flowers do, gifts its presence into the outer dimension. And yet its essence remains so inner. It's a flower that blossoms, but not outward, as it were. It's almost as though it reveals innerness, the innerness of presence. And I feel that is so, especially this year as never before, representative of what is possible for us and what is presenting. And so much like the snowdrop, there is the invitation to explore the space of that innerness of presence through expanded moments of solitude, of silence, to allow the sensing. And I was sharing in Elven Aurora that for myself, I'm not a very regular meditator. That's not my path. I respect it greatly, but maybe one day. But for me, it's more of an organic wave pulse that runs through my days when I'm called to still or to fall into presence. I feel it as natural stargates that open within the time-space continuum of my day, and I'm called into the core of that which I am, and then I sink in and begin to experience what is taking place within the space of this and within the space of myself. And the discipline for me is actually synchronizing with that. And when I don't, when I override that, noticing how painful it becomes, how quickly I can go into stress or distress, and that's when negative thought patterns can come in, and I can shift bandwave quite quickly if I miss those intervals, because they're like giant in-breaths within the natural and organic continuum of being. Whereas if I allow them, it's like a falling away of everything and a sinking into that. And what is received within the space of that, when I allow that fully, becomes an infinite source of energy, a pulse that then guides me outward again, and I move into the next wave of the outer plane. So this space at this time, the guidance to really take that and to allow this exploration of this gorgeous, of this beautiful, beyond beautiful body of light within yourself, of that sense of your own innermost essence, angelic starlight DNA, speaking through you, revealing itself through you, being felt, being known, and allowing for the idiosyncratic, unique, beautiful configuration of this that falls into no pattern we have yet seen in this world, and to allow that to become known unto you within yourself, to start honoring the new dimensionality of presence that is possible. So with this, this is my mini pod on this invitation of what is taking place in the now. And I guess as I complete that share, what I'd just love to say is that I'm finding very, very peaceful and beautiful at one layer, and in another layer I'm actually experiencing as quite emotional. And because with that, it's like coming home, and it brings for me, there's a sense almost within that, as I feel things that are still letting go. It's like this is such a new potentiality, and within my human experience continuum, there is so much still phasing out of awareness, falling away in the space of that, and new behaviors seeding in that are just becoming visible to me as I begin in these tender beginnings of this year to be the one impulse to enact them. And so there is a witnessing to that, and a newness, and yet how was this not always? This is not always who I've been. And she's always been there, but as though perhaps just back from the immediacy of the present, of being the one who is fully here, that celestial soul fully here, making all the decisions, being the continuum of who is this one in this presence. And so it's also a witnessing, and as I walked this afternoon, again, just seeding another pathway, like I'm at my mum's, a place that I grew up in from my mid-teens onwards. And I'm moving now this week, as I moved back to go and look after my dad for part of the week to be with him. He's been very unwell for the last while and is still recovering. And so I'm moving between the spaces, and these are places I grew up in. But what's so fascinating is when I go out of the door to walk the earth or to run in the early morning, I'm walking and running pathways and experiencing an earth I've never experienced before. And I found myself down amongst the great beech trees I had never met before, pathways I never thought to travel in the consciousness that I inhabited in my younger life. And it's so tender, it's so beautiful. And it almost feels also like a reparation, I found myself giving an offering unto the trees, and this deepest gratitude, but also a sorry flowing through the core of my being, an apology for being here and yet not being here before, and this return for the beauty of that. So I find it also, there's a tenderness and a depth of emotion to the newness of the encounter and the tenderness still of a falling away that is taking place, as I watch that density and the sorrow, almost the apology for being one in this cocoon before, and meeting the moment now with an immediacy that simply hasn't been available until this moment. So a very, very beautiful passage for the first part of this year, and with so much love, may this be, I hope, whatever of this resonates for you is beneficial, and letting the rest go as leaves on the wind. May we walk, each one of us, our infinitely beautiful truth upon this earth, truth, 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 as never before, just as we are meeting in this now moment, Karakian ora than Itherathian, with so much love. And yeah, I shall see you soon. Farewell for now.